Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to give you guys a heads up on some pretty interesting statements by Valve as far as Steam and paid advertising goes. It's something that I think is great that Steam doesn't do it, but I'm actually happy that they went ahead and made a statement on this or answered a question based on this as far as the Steamworks development channel. They posted a video earlier this month explaining the ins and outs of how games snowball into surprise hits, so we'll talk all about that. And also, Lords of the Fallen, one of the worst PC ports of the year, has gotten its latest patch, hopefully improving performance even more. But the game is getting steadily better. From what I've seen when it initially came out, it was a complete train wreck, and now it does seem like it's getting more and more playable, so that's always good. Maybe don't be spending $60 on it, but maybe down the line you can pick it up when it's a much better product. But we'll talk the patch notes on that at the end of this video. But first of all, noted on PC Gamer as spotted by Games Radar, the Steamworks development channel posted a video earlier this month, and it's probably not a channel that a lot of people keep up with as far as the ins and outs of what's going on, but they actually put some in-depth videos out, especially their most recent one. Again, 12 days ago, they put out a video, Steam Visibility, How Games Get Surfaced to Players, and it's a 26-minute video talking about visibility as far as games are concerned when it comes to Steam, and they actually noted one thing that is pretty relevant in terms of paid advertising for a game. So obviously, if you're a developer putting out a game, there's that idea that, hey, paying for advertising for the game could give you a leg up on your competition and, help promote your game. But the talk in the video given by Eric Peterson of Steam's business team, he notes, we don't think Steam should be pay to win. Not selling ads levels the playing field and makes its recommendation better for players. We're surprised all the time by the games that find big success on Steam. Every week, Steam automatically picks up on games that we haven't even heard of or games that we would have never predicted would be popular. Those surprises are to him and his team an indication that the platforms are working properly. Peterson then goes on to the front page of Steam Recorded when, funnily enough, Dave the Diver had done what he calls a full takeover of the store. Now, it isn't every day that we have a full Steam takeover. The bar for that is really high. As such, we have to have really high confidence that it'll appeal to a huge amount of customers. Daily deals, midweek and weekend deals, and content hubs are a part of the curated elements, and it's very competitive. You're gonna need to be in the top few hundred best-selling games to make it there. When a bunch of players are spending time and money on your game, it's a really strong signal to Steam that it could be an interesting title to other players too. It can happen anytime during the life cycle of your game as well. We've talked to developers that have had their most successful moments for their games years after launch. Whenever there's a burst of customer interest in your game, Steam will pick up on it. That's cool and all, but generally speaking, that is very much in the minority. As we've talked about in previous videos, it's very much a case of games usually peak the first 48 hours that they're out, and then there is a huge drop-off, especially that's why you see so many article headlines that are like 95% of Elden Ring players are done with the game a month after release. I think that's a stretch for Elden Ring, to be perfectly honest. Surprisingly, that game actually held up pretty strongly for a single-player game, but I digress. You see those types of headlines all the time, and that's because games generally just peak 24 to 48 hours. But there are the anomalies and the exception to the rules that something happens, whether it be a big streamer plays the game, whether it be a content update that revitalizes the game, etc., that could pick up a game. But mainly, I want to talk about the idea of the lack of paid advertising, which I think is great given the fact that, okay, you do paid advertising on Steam. What is going to be the threshold that is going to be affordable to a lot of the smaller developers? It would just be an issue that the major publishers could only pay for paid advertising, because you would imagine, because of the demand, because there's 3 billion games coming out every month on Steam, nobody's going to be able to afford that outside of the big publishers like, your Ubisofts, your EAs, Activisions, those types of publishers, Xbox, PlayStation, they could all afford that, but, a typical developer releasing XYZ game, they probably can't afford promotion. And then you also have to think about, you're doing paid promotion, and then you got, like, these 18 plus nonsense games getting promoted. Like, nah, bro, nobody's trying to see that, or at least a lot of people not trying to see that. That would be a little bit too much. It's just a murky territory that I'm happy Valve did not delve into. Even if they think they can make a ton of money off of it, I'm happy that there's no ad space on Steam. I'm happy that they're not taking, like Manscaped promotions or whatever, stuff like that, just to make extra revenue. Steam as a platform is very simple, but it's simple in the best way possible, where it gets the game to the consumer's eyes. That is absolutely the most important thing. And I think Steam, as far as the store upfronts go, does the best job by far. Is it perfect? No. But you look at Steam a decade ago versus where it is today, it is much, much better in terms of getting the game to the right eyes of the consumer and making sure those games pop up and are promoted to the people that want them. So I think they do a pretty effective job in doing that, and I think it's a very good idea that they don't make Steam pay to win. So pretty interesting statement there. And again, it is wild how every year there's like a bevy of games that nobody saw coming and then just end up selling like over 1 million copies. Like even a Baldur's Gate 3 that people were excited for. Did anybody think that game was going to be as big as it was? No. And then, but Baldur's Gate 3 already had a healthy level of excitement. I think Dave the Diver, that's a game that really is a picture painter of how games can just come out, very little marketing, very little promotion, and then end up popping off and do very, very well. A game that did, however, have a lot of promotion and a lot of interest going into its release was Lords of the Fallen. Unfortunately, another pretty mid-PC version this year, and it is getting better. There are patches, there are updates being rolled out, so that is going to be quite good. But the latest patch and update has rolled out, noting greeting lamp bearers, starting the week on a positive note with an exciting update. We're working at a full throttle to deliver you guys the most enjoyable experience, and we're eagerly anticipating your feedback on this patch. As always, please continue to report any bugs you encounter through. Major AMD GPU fixes fix multiple GPU crashes on AMD cards by skipping Niagara Compute Shader dispatches when the thread count exceeds what is supported by the hardware, and this update should resolve the majority of crashes reported in Sentry, as over 30% of them were caused by this issue in the communication between the drivers and DirectX 12. There were a lot of Sentry reported issues that have been fixed: multiplayer adjustment fixes, balancing fixes, gameplay adjustments, collision fixes, visual fixes, UI fixes as well, and they did note they're working on more fixes as we speak. It's always a shame that games have to come out in this state, and then it's a, we'll fix the game as it's out, and there's always a funny image that circulates on social media of, like, all of the, we're sorry about PC performance, or we're sorry about the quality of games, and it's wild how many of those were dropped in 2023. I mean, when you look at Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Last of Us Part 1, Lord of the Rings Gollum, Lords of the Fallen, some, I think Forspoken had one. There have just been an absurd amount of ones, and it's just always like the copy paste PR statement, which is fine. Which, what else can they do? I shouldn't say it's fine, but like, the publisher wants to get the game out, and then it's up to the dev to do the damage control at that point and being apologetic for their game state. But the developers are fully aware when their game isn't at a suitable state, but they gotta hit deadlines, and it's just, you gotta push the product out. I mean, you guys saw how this game ran on Xbox Series X and S. It is wild that that game was able to be released with that kind of performance hitches, but that's just the reality of the world we live in these days, baby. I mean, Jedi Survivor and Last of Us Part 1 were able to come out as well. So what does that tell you? But that'll do it for me. Again, Valve noting they don't sell ad space on Steam, making it so it's not a pay-to-win experience on Steam from a development standpoint. Good to see that. And Lords of the Fallen getting a brand new patch as performance for that game, seemingly getting better and better. But certainly this is a game that seems to be wishlisted for now, and pick it up a year, 18 months down the line when it is in the bargain bin. And I think the game's gonna get DLC. So you'll probably have a complete edition where you'll get the DLC content as well. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.